So I'm going to give a demo of DataTable variable. Then right click on this variable demo and click on add and click on folder. Here add data table data type. Okay, in the data type, and right click on this and click on add. So create a new sequence, data table demo. Okay, and here in order to show you the data table demo, and I'm going to create a one more file in the data table, and just create a one new Excel file, and that is data. And as you know, if I say data table, that the meaning of data table is rows and column combination. So if I say data table, that means it contains row, the data table contains row and column combination of data. So this is row and this is column. Let's say I have a name, and here something called subject. Okay, subject 1, and here you see subject 2. Okay, subject 2, subject 2, and here the name called John, and Stella, and rock. Okay, and here you see 12 and some numbers. You can add some numbers to create a data table. Okay, so this is my table. Okay, now as you know, if I want to store a single text value, I need to use string data type. If I want to store a number, I want to use integer. If I want to store a decimal number, I want to store double. And if I want to store a multiple value with the same data type, I have to create array. Okay, right? Now in this case, I'm going to store this data table, entire data table, into a variable. So that variable we call it as a data table. Okay, then close it and go to your studio. Now go to activity panel, and there is an activity called read range workbook activity, and drag and drop read range workbook activity, and just provide your data table input file, and then mention your sheet 1. Okay, so in the sheet 1 only we have a data. So then in the data table I want to store the result, right? So then create a variable, control K, dt table. Let me create a variable name dt table. Now you see in the variable panel, so the variable name is dt table and the variable type is data table. Okay, so now so in order to check our result, so I have other activity called output data table activity. So the use of this activity is, so we can convert data table into text. Okay, so you see here in the property panel of this output data table, and here you see data table. We need to provide data table, and then output, it will generate the output. After this activity execution, it will provide the text format, right? So what is the input of the data table? My data table, dt data table. And here what is my output? I need to create a variable to store my output, control K, dt text, enter. And now everything is done. So let me drag and drop message box in order to display my result. Let's say dt text. Okay, then see, and step into so the read range workbook activity executed, and you see, and the result will be stored into dt data table. So let's check in the data table, dt table, and here you see name, subject 1, subject 2. So all your data available here in the data table variable. Now I'm going to convert the data table from table to text. So then execute this, and you see data table available here, and it's converted the entire data table into text. Okay, then click on OK and check your result. Here you can see your result. So this is how we use data table data type to store a row and column combination of data. Okay, so any kind of data table. So if you want to read it from Excel, and or else if you want to get it your data from a SQL database, and you need to create a variable data type as a data table. Okay, and that's all about this data table variable.